No. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Daily Blues here on 100% Chelsea. All the latest transfer news to do with Chelsea Football Club. Once again joined by Tony and son of Chelsea, also known as Daniel.
Hi.
Hey.
Right, first piece of news, which is good news finally for Chelsea, because this week has just been negative all over Chelsea Football Club. Today we have some positive news, and that's Kenedy. Kenedy has been given his work permit, and I thought it was going to take about a year. Instead, it took a week. How are you guys feeling about it? Are you happy about it?
Very, 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 very much so. I've seen quite a lot of footage of him actually. Very excited about him.
Yeah.
Very, but even though he's got the work permit, do you think he'll still go out on loan? I mean, be a shame, wouldn't it?
No, I think now he's got the work permit, he might stick around and be part of the squad. I reckon.
I hope so. I really hope so.
If he didn't get the work permit, I think maybe go on loan. But now he's got it, he shouldn't have to go. He's a great player to have, don't you think, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed by him when he had that start against Barcelona and Charlotte at the end of last month. You know, I think he really impressed in that first half. I think he did really well. I think he looked exciting on the ball, powerful, pacey. You know, the only problem, like I agree with Tony slightly, I wrote an article about it today, is he's going to be going into an area of position at Chelsea that's already quite congested. The right wing, I know, and also he can play as a striker, but other than if we get a real injury crisis, do you know what I mean? I can't really see him playing there. But like he's going up against Willian, Cuadrado, and Moses. But then again, I think there's talk now because of Kenedy, Moses going out on loan, and also Cuadrado being sold. So maybe there is a chance for Kenedy to come into the team. Jose, from the talk from Jose, is he wants the player to come to and be in the first squad. That's why he wants to get the transfer over the line. But we're going to have to wait and see if he actually is going to be part of the first squad.
Yeah. I mean, in pre-season he looked amazing, especially in Charlotte, as you said. He was probably the man on the pitch that just did not want to stop running for a good 25 minutes. You know.
I like when he took the ball off Suarez. He came back. Probably my favourite thing about that first half was he came back literally into our box and dispossessed Suarez. Yeah. And to me, that just looked like the signs of a Jose Mourinho player. You know,
True.
Good attacking wise. Came back, made a brilliant, almost like a defend. Like he looked like a centre back challenge. He was that good. So I mean, it looks exciting for me. And also he's quite lean and kind of tall. So I think he could be a success in the Premier League. And I do think that right wing position is still up for question. I think if you can get someone in there who scores goals and does everything else Jose asks, that position really is up for grabs for me still.
Cuadrado, he's linked with Juventus, isn't it?
At the moment, it seems like Juve after Remy and Cuadrado. But to be fair, I don't see any of them going. But there's a link.
As a combination there, in terms of money, we said, what do we say, 20 million euros for Ramirez?
Yeah.
It's cheap, that, though, isn't it? To be fair.
It is.
But Cuadrado, I mean, I'll take it they'd want their money back.
Well, I mean, with Cuadrado, I mean, it's hard to say because he's already been given his squad number. He's been given the 11. He's played pre-season. He looks very much a part of the team. So I don't see him going either. To be fair, I think it's a good addition to have Kenedy bring in and push Cuadrado. You know.
I think we'd all want to see him in the first team. You know, we all want to see him stay here.
Yeah.
You know, he looks a class act, doesn't he? You know.
He does.
It just makes you wonder, doesn't it, about these two players linked with Juventus, doesn't it?
It does.
But
I mean, as we've said, if someone goes, someone has to come in. I just don't know who we end up getting coming in. You know, it doesn't seem like it's going to be Pogba. We've discussed this.
No, you don't know, do you? I mean,
well, yeah, you never know. You never know. Transfer window has to end first, so.
Would you sell both of those for Pogba?
Yes. Yeah, because especially with this now, Kenedy.
There's your replacement
for Willian. Yeah.
Moses, where's the link there? Is that West Ham or I mean, where's You said
I'm not
about
sure.
Moses, Dan.
Dan?
Yeah, well, apparently, I think I heard it maybe to Newcastle or
Oh,
to another Premier League team. It just came out from like the Kenedy story, really. There's been no solid links from anyone because nothing that I've heard from reliable sources that tell me that he's gonna go. But like, it's just like a suggestion that's been brought up because Kennedy's coming in. And to be honest, we like from the start of the summer, Moses has been touted to go out. So, you know, at this moment, I think Cuadrado, even though I'm a bit disappointed, I think Cuadrado's got there's a bigger chance of him leaving than Moses, because I think Moses has probably impressed Jose in pre-season. So
He has.
that little insider one we done a couple of nights back. You know, I was saying about the Diego Costa and all that. One of the little extra points was that particular player, Quadrado. Apparently, he finds it very difficult to take on board the instructions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look, Mourinho's already come out and said you ain't going to get many games.
Yeah. You
know.
Well, I mean,
if you was him, you would. You know. So maybe there's no smoke without fire. You know, they're both linked with those two players.
Yeah.
You know, there could be that little. You know, you never know.
There could be a surprise. There could be a surprise. Remember, we've still got 2 weeks of the window left, just over 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, anything can happen. As we've said, transfers can get done in 5 minutes. We've still got over 2 weeks, so you know.
Baba Rahman, is that tomorrow? Is that deal done tomorrow?
Looks like he's having his medical tomorrow. So yeah, that's going to happen, I'm sure. Baba Rahman will become a Chelsea player, which is great. But as for the others, we just have to wait and see. Who knows? Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe everyone is going to stay and we're not going to get anyone in. Who knows? Yeah.
I think sometimes we're looking at it from a bit of a doom and gloom, situation. I mean, when you compare the other teams, what they've spent, and this, that, and the other, 30 pundits from the BBC were asked what would be your 1, 2, 3, 4 in what particular order, and out of the 30, even though we've hardly had any activity whatsoever in the transfer window, 22 of them said we'd win the title.
Was that including Mark Lawrence?
Well, I could forget what.
I think it was. I think it was, which surprised me.
22 out of 30. That's a lot, isn't it? You know, and I think with the other 8, we were second. Yeah. And none of them put us out of the top 2.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And I think United and City got a couple each. I think so, and the rest went to Arsenal. So
as I've said, I think it's just a few more games before we hit our peak again. You know, I just think our pre-season was wrong. You know, it's just the schedule and the structure of our pre-season was just wrong. I think give it a few more games, we'll be back to our best. We will be back to our best.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
We've got a massive game at the weekend. For sure. You see what I was saying yesterday, Eunice, about Stones, and if we're not careful, I read somewhere today that United are sniffing even more so now. Johnny Evans, player plus cash.
Well, you see, the one thing that I was looking for seems to have happened, because Martinez spoke. And Martinez came out and said he's not for sale. And that's the one thing I've been waiting for. Yeah, he said he's not going. He's not for sale. I've been waiting for him to come and say that, because he wasn't saying it. He was just saying, hope to keep him. We want him as part of our squad. But now he's just gone. He's not for sale. Done. And that is what Jose was asking for as well, if you remember. When they spoke to him about Stones, he said, yeah, we put in a bid because we're interested and we want him. But Martinez hasn't said he's not for sale. So we're going to continue trying to get him. But now he has. I think it's taken a bit of a blow.
What do you think, Dan?
I mean, I'm not sure. I think. Sorry, I just blanked there for a minute. I was just What were we talking about again? I was blanking. I was thinking about John Stones. So it's John Stones.
Stones.
I was
Oh,
thinking
yeah,
about John Stones.
Martinez.
I was
Yeah.
thinking about like how we I was worried about us not signing him. No, I don't think that means anything because I've said in previous hangouts we've done, I've said that I think that if we hit 34 million, I think that's it. I think they'll let us have him. I haven't heard from anywhere. I know you're saying about Man United, and there was a few weeks ago that Man United would have come in for him, but I mean, I'm not entirely sure if that's true, but
I read that today, Dan. I read that today.
Where was it reported?
I don't know. I went through all the transfer rumours, etc. You know, it was actually on our page, actually, on the Chelsea 24/7. It was on one of them, basically saying that United are looking to hijack the deal. You know, so
Well, good luck to
player
him as
plus
well,
cash. You know,
good luck to him because if Martinez is saying he's not for sale and they're not letting go, then they've got just as no chance as we have. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, you mentioned City earlier on. I just want to point this out before we talk about. There's more to the Mourinho Eva story, unfortunately. Before we get to there, I just want to say earlier on, and this is official, Manchester City on their supporters page, on their supporters Twitter page, put that tickets for the City Chelsea game, and this isn't the Chelsea end because that's sold out, but the tickets for the City fans are or have gone general sale from 6 p.m. It's obviously past 6 p.m. now. It's just gone past 10, so I'm assuming quite a few have sold. But tickets did go on general sale at 6 p.m. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't believe that. They're facing the champions, and it goes on general sale. I mean, how many season tickets holders have they got? 10?
I think right. We all know it's called the empty ad for a reason, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Well, it is, isn't it? Let's be honest. When they were going for the title, you know, there's rows and rows of empty seats. You know, it's not really normal, yeah. They also rip us off massively, so because they charge us top dollar, and yet a couple of yards away, a couple of feet away, they're sitting in exactly the same seats for 20 or 30 quid less. But I think they've shifted more season tickets this season because I think they've sold them. I mean, I might be wrong here. For £299.
And they still can't sell out.
Can you believe that? But not only that, I think the European nights, I think they were just really struggling, you know, when they played Roma, you know, and all that. I think they were having to do a buy one, get one free.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's, I mean, Noel Gallagher, was it Noel Gallagher? He summed it up perfectly. Was it the Manchester derby? And he said, it's not like they're all knocking the door outside, trying to get in. You know, why they, add in an extra 5 or 10,000, but it's notable also that's the away ends they've made bigger, isn't it? So maybe they'll give us more seats in the future. We'll certainly sell them, you know.
Maybe, I mean, yeah. If they're not willing to fill the Etihad, then we will. It's no problem.
General sale though.
We'll go with 50,000 to
I don't think we've general sailed for years and years and years.
Years.
It might go out to the members, I don't know, a few tickets returned, this, that and the other, but they get snapped up straight away. But general sale,
I mean, look, you know what should happen? If it's on general sale, I recommend loads of Chelsea supporters please act as City fans and just go and buy loads of tickets. Even if you're going to sit in the home end, fine, we'll fill out the home end as well as the away end. Why not?
It's crazy.
It'll be a bigger Stamford Bridge on Sunday. Dan, what's your thoughts on City? They can't sell out a flipping thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna hate that much on City because I have really no reason to. I think they've got a good fan base. The people who I speak to on Twitter or whatever, they seem like nice guys. And also like most of their fans actually live locally in Manchester.
Yeah.
Unlike United, of course. I mean, it is difficult. I think as well they have had problems with the European nights because of the price of tickets. I don't know why they're trying to build that stadium any bigger. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And as well, just other than the real big games, they're constantly empty seats, and it's really, I don't know how. It's probably like a bounce back of kind of like the amount of fans who follow United, because for years and years United have been dominating. So I think they've had problems there. It's not like in London where for years it was kind of like there was no real outstanding kind of big club. You can maybe say Arsenal at one point, but Chelsea were always kind of big before we kind of became even bigger. So like when Chelsea became big, there was loads of fans worldwide coming around. Probably a majority of Manchester fans local fans are already supporting Manchester United, so they ain't going to just change allegiances. So I think that may be a problem. But I mean, it is sad to think that a club like Manchester City, who've won the Premier League title 2 out of the last 4 seasons now. I think it may be 2 out of the last 4 seasons, 2 out of the last 3 seasons, are barely getting ticket sales for their first home game. You know, it's not that they've had any previously. This is their first home game of the season, a big game against champions. You know, to think it's even going to general sale to me is ridiculous. You know, but the one thing I think is not hate towards City fans and the club. It's just like the media towards it. Like you never hear any sort of crap that City only had fans in 2008. Before then, it didn't have any fans. You know, stuff like that kind of gets to me, and stuff that kind of quite annoys me. You know, but other than that, it's going to be tough for City because apparently their fans don't like the Champions League. So, and that's for me. If they want to really get big, they're going to have to win that. For me, in my opinion, to really go out and work. Because once Chelsea won it, it did so much financially and worldwide for the club. Winning the Champions League, it just did. It just does that for your club. So.
Well, about City, I can say this is according to Deckard86, who's just gone and checked. And apparently the tickets on general sale are still on general sale. They haven't.
Saying. Right, you said they had a problem with the European nights, the tickets too. It was buy one get one free.
Yeah,
seriously. God.
This way, on Sunday, there's going to be people outside the stadium giving tickets out.
And I'm told they
kids getting
a lot
free.
of them made
kids getting free on Sunday. That's what they're going to do next.
Well, they made a big, the big hoo-ha about the fact that they'd sold so many season tickets, more than ever before and everything else. But of course you would do, wouldn't it? It's £299 a season. I mean, I don't know if that's 100%. That's what I read, but I mean, if you compare it to what we pay, and it's very hard to get a season ticket, as you know, at Chelsea.
Yeah,
I think it was 137 or 131, something like loyalty points you needed to even be in the running,
Yeah.
It's practically every game you've got to go to.
Exactly. Yeah. Being a Chelsea fan is dedication. If you're going to every single game, it's honestly a lot of dedication. It's unreal. It's not you're going to miss out. But Man City, that's unbelievable. To have the first home game, as Dan said, of the season against the champions, and your tickets go on general sale and are still on general sale 4 hours after it's gone on general sale. I can't believe it.
I think also I saw a report that Liverpool's tickets for their first home game were still on sale. I swear I saw about the Bournemouth game. I swear I saw something.
It was.
I don't think it was bad. It was just like there were still tickets on sale, and that to me for any big club is just ridiculous. Like the amount of games where. Like last season, I was a member. I'm a season to go to this season again, but last season when I was a member, the amount of games where it's just you literally have to wake up at 7 a.m. to get tickets, or you're not getting in.
Yeah.
You have to be, and also some days you just ain't getting the ticket, and there's nothing you can do about it. Unless maybe you get lucky some other time, but it's lucky I'm a season ticket holder again now. But it's that's the difference. I don't, as I say, I don't really want to have any menace towards City because I've got no reason to. But they can't really call themselves a massive club when they've got situations like that. And I don't really know how you solve it. The only way I can see them solving it is winning more trophies and winning and doing better in Europe.
Of course, you have to. If you want to become a bigger club, you have to just keep winning trophies. With Liverpool, I can understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. I won't. What we're talking about City, I won't really talk about Liverpool, to be honest, because Suarez left, Sterling's left, Gerrard's left. The club's gone a bit down. I can fully understand why they might not sell out. That's
But
that's
but
that's,
but
that's
but
you know.
but they're massive, aren't they?
Well, they used to be at least, you know. But
Well, this is
City,
this is the point, you know.
yeah, yeah,
They're not exactly queuing up, are they? Like, you know, same analogy. You know, this is the point, you know.
it is.
They're not as
It
big as
is.
they think they are. I mean, Man City, you can accept it for what it is. The only problem I've got with Man City is they almost seem to get off scot-free from criticism, don't they? That we buy the title.
Yeah.
You know, every situation that we do is highlighted and magnified, but it's almost like they get off scot-free. Many other clubs, you know, and yet they spend much, much more than us.
A lot more. A lot more.
And it's not a business that stacks up as far as I'm concerned, but it is what it is. They do what they do, and they don't really like. No one really sort of. They haven't got that hatred thing, I suppose, from United. I mean, United obviously hate them, but you know what I mean. It's not like us. We take the flack all the time, don't we? For whatever
Well,
we
I
do.
mean, also what you got to remember when we were an upcoming club already, and we were already like a top 5, 6 club. We already had rivalries, and also we won very quickly. You know, we didn't. If you think about the differences with the way when we got that big investment to how City got that big investment, it took us 2 seasons to win the title. So, like, the success came very quickly. We'd already had success with the FA Cup and European Cups before that, but I mean, City, they got their money, in September 2008. It took them until May of 2011 when they won the FA Cup to win a trophy under that reign, if I remember rightly. You know, so it did take them a little bit. I don't know, I think Man City is a club, they've never really dominated a league, have they? They've never gone like 12 points clear. They've always won it on the last day. They've won it once.
You're absolutely right.
One on goal difference. They've never really, to me, I think, if City were really going to be hated, they would have to dominate English football like we did for those 2 seasons in 04, 05, 05, 06, like what we did last season. You know, I think that's kind of gets you hatred. And also, I mean, I don't think there's as much bitterness as well from Man United fans to Man City fans as from Arsenal fans to Chelsea fans. I don't think even if City were to go and win the Champions League, you'd have that because United already have, 2 Champions Leagues, so there's also that factor.
I think they got 3, but I mean, what I was going to say is, no, they do hate each other, mate. They make no mistake about that. There's not love there at all, you know. Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is the press never really, they don't get bullied, do they? Or, you know, by the press or fans from other rival clubs, you know, that have got no affiliation of hatred you know what I mean, towards them. It always seems to be us, doesn't it? You know, we're public enemy number 1, no matter what we do. You know.
Well, I mean, we've been on the block for quite a long time now, and as you know, as history shows, we used to be the kind of quiet big club, if you know what I mean. As you've said yesterday, you know, we were
giant.
A sleeping giant. That's it. And City were never that. City were a club that were fighting for relegation for a constant amount of seasons before suddenly they found themselves in the title race. You know, but with us, a club that almost made it, and then we did make it, and now we've just stayed there, it's probably just annoyed a lot of people.
I think, but that was always the stereotype of Chelsea before Abramovich came, was the nearly men. You know, would get there in the league, maybe would have a few weeks, maybe got to a part of the season where maybe we could win the league, maybe get to a quarter-final or a semi-final of Europe, never do it. You know, and that was a big ironic thing about the Champions League. Was once we got that investment, it took us years to win the Champions League, like being the nearly men. Like that was the one that we struggled most to win. So City, the logic of people to me surprised me because I don't like. You hear it a lot with Chelsea, like you hear a lot of Chelsea buy trophies, but you know, our City, they had history before they got all that money, and I'm like, so all what we did before doesn't count then, you know.
People forget, don't they, that you know, Roman Abramovich bought us when we was already qualified for the Champions League. A few seasons before that, we got to the quarterfinals, where all right, we got knocked out by Barcelona, but you know what I'm trying to say is like we were winning trophies prior to that.
Exactly.
You know, no one can take away where we've gone on from there. You know, because we are completely and utterly a totally different club. But I just feel they don't really face the same level of criticism.
No,
and
never.
yet they'll spend money like water, you know. But
Well, at the same time, I don't know about you guys, but whenever we get criticised by the general public or the media, I don't know. It's like we get a little kick, you know. It's like, oh, good, the world still
oh,
hates us.
yeah, we are a bit elitist, really, aren't we? I mean, Kings of the King's Road, and you know, we're quite a strong unit, you know. We're
Yeah,
a blue family that we, you know,
But
you
I do
know,
think I think that that's what Jose likes to create in his dressing room is
yeah,
this feeling of us against the world, and I think as a club it helps us. I think
it does.
I you know if you were to say to I know it's going to be a ridiculous question, but if you were to say to a Chelsea fan in what 2004, so before Abramovich came,
Yeah,
that okay, this summer Roman Abramovich, a millionaire, is going to come into your club, going to invest all this money. You're going to win trophies. You're going to have more success than you've ever had before. You're going to bring in all the best players. You're going to have the best manager in the league. But every time you win something, there's going to be an asterisk from people saying there's going to be all this hatred. There's going to be a bias from the media. There's going to be all of this. You know, I don't think there'll be many Chelsea fans who would turn that down, and I think it's what makes us stronger as a fan base. You know, all this hatred, and at the end of I think it's what helped us in the week last season up to the League Cup final with Matic getting suspended,
yeah,
and you know all of that kind of happened, and the hatred towards us, and then at the end of last season when we were winning all those games and everyone was shouting at us, you know, boring, boring Chelsea, and then we go away to Leicester and win comfortably and play some brilliant football, and we're throwing it back in people's faces. I think that's what I like about our club. You know, it makes everything, it makes all the hatred makes all the victories sweeter, at least in my opinion.
exactly. You know, it is us against the world, and it's always been us against the world. I think since Roman came in, especially since Jose took over as manager, that's when, you know, he said it. I remember the first time he said it's literally King's Road, Fulham Road, and his little town in Portugal against the rest of the world. You know, and when he puts it that way, it does make us stronger. You know, especially as a fan base, we all come together a bit more. You know, because we know it's us and everyone else hates us, and you know that does make the team stronger as well. I do agree. I do agree. But talking about fan bases sticking together, there's a bit of a division when it comes to obviously the Mourinho Carneiro news. And yes, we don't want to hear about this anymore, but we have to talk about it because there's more news. And today, apparently, it seems like Chelsea have already found a replacement for Eva Carneiro and for John Fern for the City game on Sunday. That doesn't mean they're sacked. That just means for the game, as we know they're both not going to be there, two replacements have been found but won't be named up until Sunday because of privacy reasons. And, you know, after the City game, we'll know. What are your thoughts on that, guys?
I said it's only going to end in tears, didn't I? And there's only one way to solve this: a public apology from one or the other, and a public sort of kiss and make up sort of thing. Because you can see this sort of petering out, can't you?
Yeah.
And I can see the club not making a statement tomorrow. Is that right? And that'll be in support of Jose.
Yeah. More news concerning this is that the fact tomorrow Chelsea apparently will release a statement. The club are backing Jose Mourinho, so all the rumours coming out saying that Abramovich has had some sort of fallout with Jose, which came out today, is rubbish. Chelsea are going to come out in support of Mourinho, and apparently Mourinho will be attending his press conference as normal tomorrow. So we will hear from Jose. That is going to be one hell of a press conference. I'll tell you all now.
Because apparently TalkSport, I mean, I haven't listened to TalkSport tonight, but apparently that's gone crazy on the airwaves, you know, and there's been some Chelsea fans being very anti-Jose and, you know, a couple of, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but a couple basically turning around and say he's got to go. You know, it's just madness. It's absolute madness. But equally, you've got papers like the Express saying, you know, Roman is furious with Jose and there's, you know, and demands an apology and demands to know what's going on, and you know, it's just completely and utterly spiraling out of control. You know, there's the Premier League doctors Association making statements. And there's new footage now being released, showing her being waved onto the pitch, and I don't know, mate. The whole thing's it's just so unfortunate. It's everyone's made a mistake basically. Even Jose, you have to say, by going public on it all. She went onto Facebook, and I mean, she got something like 20,000 likes.
She got a lot, and that's another point. That's another point I want to focus on, because a lot of people don't know. Ralph Rodgers, who was our first team doctor under Ancelotti, so when Ancelotti was at the club, this guy called Ralph Rodgers was our first team doctor. Basically the same as Eva now. And he come out and said that the Facebook comment by Eva Carneiro was not ethical. His words were, "Why would she go to social media? It's something we, as a profession, ethically should not be doing. You are support staff. You're not one of the stars." That's almost a slap in the face to the manager. What's your thoughts on that? He used to be our first team doctor under Carlo.
Dan?
I mean, I agree with him. I think, we've talked about this, for 2 days now, probably even longer. There's very little left to say. I know that I think it's good that the club's backing Jose, because it's all it's gonna. And as Tony has said several times, there's really no winners in this at all. Right. I'll stick to it. For people to wanting Jose to go out, I mean, seriously, behave. Like, I can't take those people seriously, especially the ones who are phoning up. What is it, 606 or whatever, saying stuff like that. To me is just ridiculous. It's just an unfortunate situation, really. I still stick to, I think the whole thing's been blown out of proportion. But I saw a brilliant tweet today. The only thing from today that I can bring to this discussion is I saw a tweet from someone saying, you can replace a physio at any point, but you can't replace Jose Mourinho. So that's just what I say. So be careful what certain fans wish for. So, but how can anyone with logically say that Jose shouldn't be at our club anymore? Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just ridiculous to me. I just cannot believe there are people who watch football who believe stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's madness, isn't it? Another thing as well. I see Gary Monk's come out with. He feels that this whole episode has overshadowed his team's performance.
Yeah,
and going back to what you were saying,
he's right. He's right.
He's right, though.
In a reversal scenario, maybe it's, like we said, it's overshadowing our performance.
But you talk about media.
He's gutted by it all because no one's talking about, Swansea City.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about these whole media storms or whatever. I was saying before we came on air that there's this whole thing with Jamie Vardy, and it's a racist kind of rant on his part. Like a video, I think it is, and or something that's come out. There's been no real media storm about that. Apparently, there's barely anything in the papers about it, and that, for me, I'll just leave it at this. I find that quite interesting. Premier League players apparently racially abuse someone, but there's no media storm about it. I'll just leave it at that, because I think, if I say any more, but I'll just leave my opinions to that. At this point, I'm just gonna say that.
You're gonna put the game into disrepute at this point, Dan. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be guilty until proven innocent. That's.
Yeah.
Do you know what'd be brilliant? Tomorrow's pre-match press conference. It'd be brilliant if she was sat beside him, wouldn't it?
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
And then it's like, game over. You can all stop writing about it. It's done.
Yeah.
This is going to run and run and run and run and run because they want to make massive problems out of everything,
They do, and especially with Chelsea. That's the problem. This story has overshadowed not one but 2 matches. It's overshadowed Chelsea-Swansea, so no one's talking about that. And I do feel sorry for Gary Monk because his team did a good job. And it's overshadowed probably one of the biggest games of the season, Chelsea City. No one's talking about that.
The Express, right? Yeah. Their headlines was Chelsea in crisis.
Yeah, we're not in crisis. We're not in crisis. This is and you know what? Yeah, exactly. We're the champions. We've got a solid team. We've got, for me, the best manager in the world. I just, it's just this is blown out of proportion, and it's for the simple fact that Eva is popular with the public because she's attractive. It's as simple as that. John Fern, who's the other doctor, has received the exact same treatment as Eva, demoted just like her, will not appear at matches just like her, will not appear at the team hotel just like her, and has been, put in the same situation. But no one, as you said, Daniel, the public don't even know his name.
Yeah, there are people commenting on this who don't even know his name.
No, but if you was to imagine the whole situation, close your eyes for a few seconds, imagine it as it is and what's happened, and then take her completely away and just focus on him, then tell me how you feel about it.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. You're right. No one will say
it's true, isn't it?
Yeah. I think this has just been an opportunity, and yes, Jose could have handled it better in terms of the interview.
Yes.
Because in the interview he said that the medical staff were naive to the point where they went on too fast. He said they were too naive to think that Hazard was actually hurt to the point where he needs treatment. And if you're going to say that, you're obviously going to start creating comments for the media, which I agree with. Jose shouldn't have done that.
Didn't he run on first though, Eunice? Did he not run on first and she followed him?
John Fern ran on first, exactly. So I don't know why all the criticism's going to Eva.
Can I just read out something funny that I got? It was earlier today. It was a Chelsea fan on Twitter that was like, this is kind of a sarcastic comment. He was like, if we lose against City this weekend, who knows? Jose might assault the Stamford Bridge janitors. And then he said, by week 8, he'll be beating the board of directors. Week 12, attacking the fans. It will happen if you believe the media.
That's
a lot of people, because look, he signed a new contract, right? We know he wants to be here for a long time. We all know it. We all believe it, yeah. Okay, but a lot of people are saying this is the third season jitters that he gets at every club. That third season jitters.
Yeah.
And then a little problem starts, and another problem starts, and that. I mean, you have to put everything into perspective, yeah? At the end of the day, the whole thing is totally unfortunate, but it's blown up now.
Yeah.
And I actually see, I think what will happen is she'll end up either leaving or,
well,
I hope they just sort it out. And,
whatever will happen. I think tomorrow we'll have a clearer perspective when we hear from Mourinho himself, when we hear from Chelsea and they release a statement. And then after that, I just want it to die. Just forget this. Because, this is an internal problem, and it's been purposely magnified by the media just to cause, instability for us, because that is what the media want to do. They want a headline, and they know with Mourinho they'll get one. And they won't just get a headline, they'll get a week's worth of papers sold, which is exactly what they're looking for. And with us, it's just a perfect opportunity. They love writing about us. They love writing about Mourinho. Send them papers. I think we should just ignore the whole thing and let Chelsea deal with it themselves. It's internal. Leave it internal. We should just end it. And focus on City. That's a big game.
Absolutely.
It'll
be interesting tomorrow, though, won't it? Do you know what I mean? Do you think? Obviously, all the questions are going to be about it. Is he? Will he?
I've got
do you think he'll just say, I'm not answering any questions? Or what would be brilliant if he comes out and actually says, do you know what, on reflection, I thought about it, but let me explain to you why I had the ump, right? So he puts it into complete and utter perspective, and then go on to say, and then praise her, praise the woman, put it over in deflect it all right, okay, but put it into a positive, positive sort of light, if you like.
Yeah, no, I agree. We should.
I don't know. All will be revealed tomorrow. Be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, tomorrow, we know what Mourinho is like in press conferences. Before he goes in, he knows what to say. It's just, he knows how to control the journalists. He's probably the best at it. So I'm sure he's going to say what he wants to say, and he'll make sure that press conference goes his way. I'm 100% of that. But yeah, it'll be a very interesting day. I just hope it dies tomorrow. But at the same time, as someone has said, it's deflecting all the attention away from the game. So for the players, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll definitely talk about that press conference. Once it's all said and done, we'll mention it. Well, last bit to talk about is, well, we wanted to focus a bit on the stadium and the crowd and all that yesterday. I think a good point to talk about today, which was an idea from Tony, was about the atmosphere at games, because we've noticed from a Chelsea point of view, Stamford Bridge does tend to go quiet, and it shouldn't. What can be done, do you think, to improve the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge? Because our away support is fantastic. It's when we're at home, sometimes it just dies down. What do we do?
Well, away support is amazing. There's no two ways about that. I mean, I'd go every away game, and I can tell you now for nothing, it's incredible. You know, before the game, during the game, we sing for 90 minutes. You know, it's first class. No one can fault that. Stamford Bridge is completely different. Okay. So therefore, you've got to look at ways to improve it. We mentioned the best way to get the atmosphere going is for the whole stadium to be singing in unison, which is why when the Matthew Harding almost takes the lead and they ask the Shed to give them a song, and then they do it, and then they respond in unison, and the whole stadium goes up together. That's when you really get some noise pushed out there, But Chelsea as a football club are also doing other things to create the atmosphere, yeah? I've noticed since Mourinho's come out with the comments and that, the atmosphere has got a lot better. Yeah. And there's been certain games where the Bridge has been absolutely rocking. I can think of the semi-final in the League Cup against Liverpool. Unbelievable. But there was certain things that were put in place before that game. The light show is great, isn't it? When they're whacking the music up, and then the lights dip, and then the heartbeat comes on, and the crowd are really buzzed up, and that. These are all great things, for the European nights. We drop the 4 flags down. We're almost choreographing it in a European style way, aren't we? Yeah. But the fans have to play their part. I mentioned last night about drums. Now I didn't. Someone told me that Chelsea are not too keen on it. But when I go away, the stadiums that are rocking are the ones that are always accompanied by a drum.
That's true.
I can think of Swansea. I'll tell you what. The one after Man City, West Bromwich Albion, the Hawthorns, the drummer don't shut up for 90 minutes. But they are relentless. I mean, they're right next to us. Obviously, the away end, anyone that's been to West Brom, they're right to the left of us. And their drummer, and they're all bouncing up and down at the same time, and it kind of sets the tone. Do you know what I mean? A lot of old school people don't like the drums, and stuff like that. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like music coming on when a goal's scored. I don't like that.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Yeah. Is it QPR do that? Is it QPR? QPR do it.
Norwich do it. I think with they play Brazilian samba because they wear Brazilian.
Palace do it, don't they? As well.
Leicester do it as well.
And Palace don't have to do
it. What do you two think of the drums? Like, I mean, would you at Stamford Bridge, right? I mean, look, they take a lot of ribbing at Crystal Palace, but I think most people would agree. If anyone out there's ever been to Selhurst is one of the greatest atmospheres, and they are probably one of the best set of away fans, from England that come to our stadium, apart from the ones from overseas. Like when Gala came, they were amazing. Sporting, Atletico, Schalke, they all come and they'll make an incredible noise, yeah. But as far as England's concerned, Palace are one of the best, and they started that ultra style. Is it the Homestyle ends where they all located in one section of the stadium, and they dress the stadium, don't they, in flags and banners and all that. I mean, I don't know how far you want to take it, but I certainly think that the drum angle or someone, that would be a positive thing. A lot of people don't like it, especially the old school Chelsea. You know what I mean? But you've almost got to give it a lift yourself, yeah. So that's my thoughts. I like the drums. You guys like them, yeah?
I do. Dan, do you like the drums?
Yeah, I mean, just to go back, like on Tony's point, like back to the start about problem with atmosphere. I mean, I think I made a video way back after the QPR game when he first made those comments. I think I made like a 12-minute video, I remember, and I discussed the three biggest problems at Chelsea, and I think the three I pinpointed were tourists who come and they either they don't have any affiliation with the club, they don't know the songs, just people who have probably never been to Chelsea before, don't support the club. Stewards telling people to sit down, and I think the third was ticket prices. They were the three things I pinpointed. After that game, the next home game against West Brom, I believe, I was sitting in the shed lower. We weren't told to sit down, which was a positive. After that, as Tony said, I think what the club have done last season, were really good after that. I think playing that montage of park life before the game, I think for me is probably one of my favourite bits of going to Stamford Bridge at the moment. I love that whole what they usually do. I mean, I don't know about you. This is just a thing I thought about on Saturday. The music was really loud from minute one, even before the game. But one of the cool things they used to do last season was the music would be kind of at a certain lower level, and then when Park Life would come on, it would really the music would really go up a notch, so it would alert everyone that this is this big game, and I kind of like that. The lights going off is a genius idea. Whoever came up with it, a brilliant idea. But the problem is with that is how many times, and you can't do that throughout the season. I also know in the Champions League you can't do that because the annoying thing about we can't do it because of UEFA regulations. They want it in a certain style, so that's a bit frustrating. I mean, we did have some better nights. I mean, I remember the League Cup final that you said, Tony, semi-final. Sorry, I was in the East Stand Upper, and most of the time people aren't standing up in that stand. There were points in that game where everyone in the East Stand Upper was on their feet singing, and that's one of
absolutely. That game, all four sides. Liverpool must have been astonished. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we were. The whole place was absolutely rocking.
Yeah, and also
and that light show. I mean, it is really, really good, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is.
I remember when they done it for the first game against Tottenham, and I thought, oh man, we've got a power cut here. But then, obviously I think Everton as well, the home game against Everton. And it's really, really gets you, in the mood. I like it. I really like it.
I mean,
I think the club needs to get. You need to get a drum. You need to really start. Sort of really start beefing it up. And gets everyone going, doesn't it?
How about also with the drums? All over Europe, you'll find an ultra section. A section where just all the die-hard vocal fans are in one stand together. And Palace have a singing section. They're the only club in the country to have a national singing section. It's just just fans who are gonna sing are stuck in one stand and they create the whole atmosphere. I think Stamford Bridge would be a great place to have one of those as well. Stamford Bridge is a very compact stadium, so the noise gets louder.
Yeah.
I think
anyone that's been to Selhurst will tell you it's at Selhurst Park at Crystal Palace. They do not from minute 1 to minute 90. It's incessant.
Yeah, they don't stop.
Constantly, getting behind their side. It's just. I'm not saying it has to be like that in terms of an ultra style what they've created.
Yeah.
But what. And also, it's a lot of younger people as well, isn't it? In that section of the, and I think it is all about the youth now. And I guess that's what Chelsea are trying to encourage with the extra seats and the stuff going. We're talking about the corporate side of things, weren't we? They've kind of tried to balance it out, I think, with an extra 5,000 tickets that will either go out on general sale or for the younger element and. Obviously, you're not going to get 55, 60-year-old people bouncing up and down, so you do need that younger crowd inside the stadium, and
Yeah, I mean,
of course.
I also do think there's an issue. I think it's some people may not like this, and I do think that in some ways it is different being a Chelsea, being an Arsenal, being a United, to being a Crystal Palace, to being a Norwich. I do think there is a difference, because no matter what, like, we can put all those things in place, and I think they would make a significant improvement, like we did last season. But people turn up to Chelsea, and most of the time expect to win. You know, and I don't like that. I'm not that sort of person. I'm a supporter. Supporter is support, so I'm there to sing, you know, and to support the boys. But, like, you know, I think there are a load of people who go to Stamford Bridge to sit down and think, entertain me. Like, that's their, because we're so successful, that's their mindset. Again, when you're a Crystal Palace fan, there isn't many games you're going to where you're thinking, yeah, we should win this easily. You know, there's a lot of games you're on the back foot, which I think, I'm not in any way saying that, well, because of that, we can't have a good atmosphere. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that the mindset of our fan base is very different to the mindset of, and also away fans, it's a completely different beast going Chelsea away. It just is. And
the club do a lot, yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know if, you know, people are aware of that, but away games, for example, yeah, Chelsea subsidise that. You know, it's only 10 quid to either go on a coach or a train through the supporters' travel, and they subsidise a couple of games a season. They subsidise it. They take the loss. Chelsea, I think it's about 50 quid a seat with Thomas Cook, and Chelsea pay the differential. You know, you pay £10 and you're guaranteed a seat on that coach, or, you know, on that train. You know, they provide the flags. People knock the flags, but that's probably the best thing about the Fiorentina game, wasn't it? Before the game, when you see 40,000 blue flags going, amazing sight. Anyway, I don't care what anyone says. It's still a spectacle. I love our flags, you know. So I'm happy with the flags, you know. But Chelsea have also, if you look, they kind of dress the stadium too, haven't they, with the Drogba flags and the. Of course, we've kind of choreographed that as a football club, haven't we? Do you know what I mean?
We have. I think in that respect, we're probably the most European side in the Premier League.
That's exactly my point, Eunice, right? Yeah. We are very on the European lines, yeah? So perhaps you could implement it. Again, I think a lot of the old school Chelsea wouldn't be massively in favour of it, but I certainly think the drums would help. But I got told that, you know, you can't take the drums into Stamford Bridge, but maybe that's something that they should, you know, because I'll tell you, the stadiums that rock, I've always got a drummer.
It's true. I mean, all over Europe, and this is a point to Dan as well, like, even the big clubs, you look at Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, you go to all these stadiums and you'll find that you always hear this massive drum, this one guy going mental on the speaker, and everyone's just joining in, and it just creates such a raucous atmosphere. You go to somewhere like Dortmund and you get intimidated. You're like, we're not really going to win here, are we? You know. I think Chelsea, Stamford Bridge, we've known Stamford Bridge to be a fortress under Mourinho. I think we can take it up as fans to the next level and just implement something like that. I think it would help.
Yeah, I mean, I think certain things, there were for me probably better days there were for me an improvement in atmosphere last season. I think also another thing that the club did was start to play Blue as the colour before the kickoff.
True.
Which I think was a good touch, because, you know, everyone can relate to that song and everyone's going to start singing that. So I think, and also the problem is like, you know, I was going to cite Man United as a brilliant atmosphere, but, you know, of course, against the big teams, it's always going to be a good atmosphere. It's just against the smaller teams, when we're expected to win, you've got to have that better atmosphere. I think in most big games, we're fine. I think that it can become a really intimidating place. I just think in certain games, there are times when I'm singing, on Saturday, me and my brother, we're both singing, and there's people looking at us weirdly, you know, and I just,
exactly,
that really gets on my nerves, you know, because and there are also these people wearing Chelsea shirts, so it's not like they have no understanding of what football is. But if I go to, say, Bernabeu to watch a game, and someone behind me starts singing a song, I'm not going to turn around and look at him weirdly just because he's singing in another language. I'm here to watch football games, so obviously there's going to be people singing, you know. I just don't. That's the biggest. I think that's the biggest thing. And I think what really, I hadn't gone to Chelsea for a while, gone to any of the games for a while. And then I went to the Basel home game in the Champions League the one where we lost 2-1, where Jose's first year back.
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the shed lower, and I remember it was just like one of the worst atmospheres, and I think alarm bells started ringing, and I was like, something's got to improve here, you know, because this is getting bad at this point.
The trouble is, he come out with those words, right, and he wasn't wrong, right, and like I said, only he can ever get away with saying something like that, and we responded in such a way. But to be totally honest with you, I mean, having gone to most of these stadiums and that, I can honestly turn around and say to you that Stamford Bridge is louder than most grounds. It's just that everyone, you know, Mourinho's right, your fans are, you know, that's what they like to think of us and stuff like that, because of what he's actually said. It's just that he's experienced it a lot louder before. He knows how it can be. And some days it is dire. I'm not going to say it isn't, but certainly since he's come out with those words, Stamford Bridge is a lot better, and the stewards have relaxed the situation with regards to standing. You know, because there was people like afraid of losing their season tickets. They're getting reported by stewards, and you know, hang on, row 5, you know, seat 36 was standing throughout the course of the, you know, things like that, and people, you know, are getting worried. So it doesn't really encourage you to, you know, to stand up and you know, and to get involved, you know. But since he's come out of it, the Stamford Bridge has definitely improved. But most other stadiums, you know, we outsing them and we turn up as away fans. So
I mean, having said that, I mean, I do think actually, I don't know if any, like, Tony, of course you were at the game as well. Like, I don't, like, I know if you agree. I thought Saturday's atmosphere was pretty decent. I don't think it was anything special, but I don't think it was that bad either. I think.
It's all right.
I think once we went down to 10 men, I think it really, like, the crowd got into it. You know, of course we don't want that. Like, just it's going to take something like that to enlighten the crowd. But I don't think it was that bad. I think the crowd didn't get on the team's back. The crowd supported the team, which I think was a real big positive.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say it has since he's come out with it. It's got a lot better, but there's a lot worse stadiums out there. I don't want to be nitpicky, but Arsenal Stadium. I mean,
the new library.
Well, you know, I see that they're trying to move. They're trying to get like singing sections, aren't they? And Man United, you know.
Yeah.
Is that the answer?
Yeah.
I had an idea, but I didn't know if it was workable. You know, like instead of selling shed lower, for example, tickets row 1, you know, where they're numbered and the row and everything, just have shed lower, and it would encourage people to get there a bit sooner, so the club would make a bit more money, I suppose, from, you know, food and drink sales and stuff like that. But then it encourages people to sit together, you know. I mean, I don't know how you'd steward it, you know, but sure, it could be done. So like, instead of you being like row 5, you know, and having your seat number, you just shed lower, you know. So that you fill up that row, you know. But ideally, you'd get the ones that really want to get involved and sing, that really push it. They're all sat together, aren't they? Clubbed together. I don't know if it's workable, but it's an idea, I guess.
I mean, yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It is an idea. I think there's many ways to be able to improve the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge. Even though, as you said, it's not the worst and it's not the most disastrous.
No, it's not.
But it would be, you know, with a little bit more effort, I think we can possibly become the best, you know, one of the best in the country. You know, different ways, as I've said, drums or ultras or being able to get people to stand or, you know, singing sections. I think, as you've said, Stamford Bridge at the moment, this is from my own experience. Although if you choose any other stand except from Matthew Arden, Shed End does tend to sing quite a lot. But if you go Matthew Arden lower, I think, on the ticket it does say adult only. So you do have, you know, Chelsea know people in the Matthew Arden are the ones who's going to be singing, so make it adult only because, you know, you don't want kids in that section, so they make sure kids are in other sections of the stadium. I think Chelsea as a club do their part. I think it's just up to us to just up the atmosphere a bit more. You know, it's just all down to the fans.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think also, I don't like the away fans where they are.
Yeah,
I like them.
West
I'd
Stand
like
upper.
them right up in the gods in the East Stands.
East Stand or West Stand upper, like the third tier of the West Stand. If you could do that.
Yeah. Because I mean, look, you get, Newcastle, for example. Anyone that's been at St James's will tell you. I swear to God,
you're in
you
the
need
clouds.
the oxygen mask just to get up there. I tell you, I learnt my lesson. The second time I went up, and third, I'll now make out I've just hurt my leg, and I use the executive lift. When it says so, because I cannot be doing with that spiral up to the gods. And then when you get up there, it's like the Tyne light is like coming at you. And you're watching Subbuteo football. It's like that, The worst experience ever.
You could see the planes coming past you.
I tell you, it's the worst experience ever. You're right up like that, looking down.
It's the same at Sunderland. I swear it's the same at Sunderland.
Well, yeah, no, you're right, because I took a picture of every step of Sunderland. You're right, that goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. But Newcastle, trust me, is
have a record.
It's too much. But I mean, why don't we do that to them? Why are we giving them? I mean, Aston Villa decided, didn't they, to move the away fans from behind the goal. That's one of my favourite away games. The acoustics are great at Villa Park, but they you're on the side now. Do you know what I mean, sort of thing?
Yeah.
That was still good though. The away day last season, that was one of my favourite away days.
Well, Villa.
I was in the lower tier for the away game last year when Ivanovic scored the winner.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant away day.
Villa Park's it's one of my favourite. It's great. Number one, you always get a great allocation of tickets. Yeah. And number two, it's always a good atmosphere. We're right on it at Villa Park because, like I said, the acoustics. I think Anfield, that gets like, it's great. The atmosphere. Trust me, right? It's almost. I'm not saying it's almost like staged, but they'll do the Never Walk Alone. It's predictable. You know what's going to come on. On the tunnel, it'll come out. You Never Walk Alone. Next thing, they're all bringing out their scarves, giving it that. Scarves go down. Liverpool, right, okay, that's it, job done, and right at the end, right, the scarves come back out again. It's like, what a wonderful life the fans they are. No, it's not like that at Anfield at all, but it's
I think the thing that annoyed me last season when Jose made that comment was I thought that it would open up a discussion about the problem with all big clubs, And I had Liverpool fans trying to tell me that it wasn't a problem at their ground, and I was like, "Come on, let's be serious. Like, it's all right. You get good atmospheres for big games and big European nights, but I mean it's the same with Chelsea. It's not. I think to make out that Liverpool are on it every single. Come on, let's be serious.
They're not. It's an absolute myth. Trust me, it really is. Have you been to the Etihad? Right.
I've never been to the Etihad.
Right. Okay. Right. It's I tell you now, right. If and then touch wood, we don't get beat. If they beat us, do you know what they'll put on? One Step Beyond. I'll tell you.
Why would they put it on?
It's our tune, Madness.
It is, yeah.
Why would they put a Madness song on? I don't understand.
Well, that's to wind us up. That's what I'm saying. It's everything. Yeah.
It is.
It's not a great atmosphere at the Etihad, to be fair, either. It's
no, there is no.
James's Park as well. Everyone goes on about that. I mean, I don't think it's all that.
No,
I really don't.
No, it's true. I think it's an English thing. As the Premier League with English supporters, we just do tend to be a bit more calm compared to the rest of the continent. I don't know what it is. There's the typical cricket fan, as people like to call the English. Just jolly good, well done. That does tend to be. We are a calmer bunch compared to the Europeans all over the continent. So.
Never used to be though, Eunice. Never used to be though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem, and where I think that's come from, especially the big clubs, it's become a little bit more touristic. It's become a little bit more mixed. It's not so male orientated anymore.
That's the real reason, mate. Because if you compare, right, and don't get me wrong, I mean we all hate Tottenham, yeah, but you got to admit they've got that. At Tottenham, they do kick out an atmosphere, especially when they play us, right? And I think it's because they've still got that old school you know, type of fan that's still there. You know, that hardcore that's still hanging on. You know.
Exactly.
And that will change, obviously, once you know, their stadium's built, I guess. But
their spaceship.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What I want to do, obviously, guys that are watching, do leave your comments on, you know, the support. Where do you think we can improve? Where do you think we need to adjust? Do you think it's just not a Chelsea problem? Do you think it's a Premier League problem? Maybe it's not just us that tend to be a bit quiet at times. What other clubs do you know that are not so good with atmosphere as well? But you know, for today, it's been over an hour. It does go quick, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It goes so quick. It goes so quick.
I'm really looking forward to that West Brom away day. I'm looking forward to that West Brom away day.
Oh yeah, the game after City, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully if we beat City, we get our winning streak up and running. It'll be a good day over at West Brom. You know.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But there we are, guys.
We were great at West Brom last year, though. Our fans. Mourinho came over, you know, to us at the end,
and he clapped over. Yeah.
We didn't stop singing, you know, for the entire second half. You know.
Is that we were on the brink, weren't we, of winning the league, or had we already won it?
No, we already won it. We lost 3-0, didn't we? It didn't matter.
We lost, yeah.
You know, but it was like, who cares? They were celebrating like, you know, I remember them because you're right next to them and that, and they're all staring at us, you know, because they're not watching the game. They're staring at us. They're trying to sort of give it to us like, you know, free. And we're going, what? You know, who cares? We won the league. You know what I mean? It don't matter. But,
I've got a good story about that because I remember that game last season, and my brother and my granddad went up to watch that game, and there's a joke in our family that he's gone. I mean, he's been a Chelsea fan for years and years. Yeah, he's gone to Stamford Bridge down the years, and he's never really sung. Like, you know, he's known for not singing, and my brother was able to get him to like clap and sing at that away day, and just West Brom away, and my granddad, who'd never like sung at a game before, was like clapping, and which was really funny. And you know, I think that was just proof of how good our away fans are. You know, 3-0 down, you know, and the support was just incredible. And I think like we don't get a lot of credit from opposing fans and the media about our support, because I think sometimes, I mean, I remember the League Cup final. I thought our League that game, like, the support was really good, and apparently all the Tottenham fans got the credit, and I just didn't understand that. So it was good on that day, especially with Mourinho coming over and clapping the fans. I thought we really gained some credit there from people.
Yeah, that's true.
You know why though? Do you know why the away fans are so good? I mean, there's obviously obvious reasons where they're all massed together, and obviously you're in a sort of, you know, somebody else's stadium and everything else.
Yeah.
Obviously that, but it's pretty much the same faces. It really is. It seriously is. And honestly, it's pretty much the same faces, you know. On the supporters coach, you see the same faces, you know.
Same people.
Same people.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. And they've always done it, you know, and and a lot of them are the old school. I know lots of people actually that just do the aways.
Yeah.
They won't go to Stamford Bridge, you know. Yeah, so.
Dedicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know. Well, Tony, Dan, thank you for coming on today once again. It's been great. Covered some good points. Everyone that is watching, thank you all so much for watching today. Be sure to know tomorrow, same story, more Daily Blues, but tomorrow is going to be a press conference special. We're going to have to talk about Mourinho's press conference, Chelsea's statement. Tomorrow is a big day. So I'm looking forward to what happens. Again, guys, thank you so much. Do leave your comments in the comment section after this goes off the air. Please follow all the social media links in the description below. Follow Tony on Twitter at Tony100%Chelsea. Follow Daniel at Son of Chelsea. And yeah, us three will again see you tomorrow for more Daily Blues. Subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you are new. Have a good evening, guys, and take care. Guys, you can sign off.
See you, lads.
See ya.